All right, today we're tackling something that can feel pretty intimidating for any new driver. What's actually going on under the hood of your car? But don't worry, we're going to turn that fear into confidence in like under 5 minutes. Let's get right into it.
So, does the thought of popping the hood kind of freak you out? You lift it up, you see this maze of wires and hoses and just a bunch of metal parts, and your first instinct is probably to just shut it and hope for the best, right?
Well, if you feel that way, you are definitely not alone. But here's the secret. You don't need to be a mechanic to keep your car safe and running smoothly. The most important checks, they can be done in less time than it takes to make a cup of coffee. Seriously. Okay, first up, let's talk about your 5-point fluid check. You really want to think of these fluids as the lifeblood of your vehicle. Keeping them at the right levels is probably one of the most important things you can do for your car's health. So we're going to look at these 5 essential fluids. We'll start with the supercritical engine oil and go all the way to the simple but necessary windshield washer fluid. Let's just go through them one by one. First on the list, engine oil. So what does it actually do? Well, to put it simply, it's the stuff that stops all those fast-moving metal parts inside your engine from, grinding themselves into dust. It is absolutely critical. Okay, so how do you check it? The number one rule is to do this when the engine is cold, like first thing in the morning is perfect. You'll get the most accurate reading. Find the dipstick, it usually has a bright yellow or orange handle, pull it out, wipe it off with a paper towel, stick it all the way back in, and then pull it out again. The oil level should be right there between the two marks. And hey, take a look at the color. A nice clean amber color is what you want. If it's really dark black or, worse, looks milky, that's a sign you need to see a mechanic. Next up is coolant, which you might also hear called antifreeze. This stuff is pretty amazing. It's what manages your engine's temperature. It keeps it from boiling over on a scorching hot day and, on the flip side, from freezing solid in the dead of winter. And this is another one you only check when the engine is completely cold. Look for a plastic tank, usually kind of see-through. That's your coolant reservoir. You should be able to see the fluid level right through the side, and you just want to make sure it's between the min and max lines. And I cannot say this enough. Never, ever try to open the main radiator cap when the engine is hot. That system is under a lot of pressure and it can spray boiling hot liquid everywhere. Seriously dangerous. All right, let's move on to one of the most important fluids for your safety, brake fluid. This stuff is basically what gives your brake pedal its power. When you push your foot down, this fluid is what transfers that force to the brakes on your wheels, which, stops the car. It's a total non-negotiable. You'll usually find the brake fluid in a small tank up near the back of the engine bay, on the driver's side. Just like the others, make sure the level is between the lines. But with this one, the color is also super important. It should be a clear, yellowish color. If it looks dark or murky, that probably means it's absorbed moisture, which can make your brakes less effective. If it looks like that, it's time to have a professional change it. So, let's talk about power steering fluid. Have you ever tried to drive a really old car that doesn't have power steering? It is a serious workout. This fluid is exactly what makes turning your steering wheel feel so easy and smooth. To find the reservoir, just look for a cap that often has a little steering wheel symbol right on it. Pretty handy. Some have a dipstick built into the cap with marks for both hot and cold levels. Just check that it's where it's supposed to be. And if you do need to add more, make absolutely sure you use the right kind of fluid for your specific car. And finally, we get to the easiest one of them all, windshield washer fluid. Now, it might seem kind of basic, but think about it. Being able to see clearly is, well, pretty critical for safety, right? Getting stuck behind a big truck on a rainy day without this stuff is just the worst. And yeah, this check couldn't be simpler. No dipsticks, no min or max lines to worry about. Just find the reservoir, look for the cap with the little windshield spray symbol on it, pop it open, and fill her up. That's it. You're done. Awesome, you've totally mastered the fluids. So now we're moving on to our second section, belts, battery, and beyond. This part is all about doing a quick visual check. No tools needed, just your eyes. Okay, take a look at the belts. You'll see these long rubber bands running around different pulleys in the engine. They power, well, everything. A healthy belt looks smooth and feels flexible. What you're on the lookout for are the bad signs. Any cracks, any frayed edges, or a surface that looks kind of glazed and shiny. A belt that snaps can leave you stranded in an instant, so just taking a quick look is a really smart move. Next, just take a quick glance at your car's battery. Find the two metal posts where the big cables connect. Those are called the terminals. You're looking for any fuzzy, crusty, white or bluish gunk. That's corrosion. and it can actually stop electricity from flowing, which means your car won't start. While you're there, just give the connectors a gentle wiggle to make sure they're on there nice and tight. And for the very last visual check, just take a step back and look at the ground, right underneath where you usually park. See any new drips or little puddles? That's a super clear sign that something is leaking and probably needs to be checked out. And there you have it. You've checked the fluids, you've done a quick visual scan, so now for the big payoff. Why does the simple 5-minute routine actually matter so much? I mean, this slide really says it all, doesn't it? The cost of prevention, which is just a few minutes of your time, is tiny. But the cost of neglect, like letting your engine run out of oil, that can lead to thousands of dollars in repairs. It's a pretty simple choice when you look at it like that. So this simple routine gives you 4 huge benefits. First, you're increasing your safety by catching potential problems early. Second, you're saving yourself a ton of money by avoiding those huge repair bills. Third, you get real peace of mind, just knowing your car is in good shape. And finally, you're actually helping your car last a whole lot longer. You know, it really all comes down to that timeless advice from good old Benjamin Franklin. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. 5 minutes of prevention under the hood can honestly save you a world of trouble down the road. So the next time you go to grab your keys, just take those 5 minutes first. Pop the hood, run through these simple checks, and ask yourself this question. Because now, with this knowledge, you have the power to confidently answer, yes, it is.